If you're listening right now, I want to speak directly to you. Maybe you've been dealing with chronic pain, your knees, your back, your joints. Maybe you've been struggling with inflammation or lingering chest congestion that just won't go away. Or maybe, like so many of us, you're simply tired of reaching for one more bottle of pills and wondering if there's a gentler, more natural way to feel better. Today, I want to share with you something simple. It's a remedy that has been around for generations. It's made of two ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen: castor oil and garlic. This isn't some overnight miracle, but what I can tell you from my own experience and from countless others is that it works. And if you give it just 7 days, it could change the way your body feels, maybe even the way you feel about aging. This is not just about easing pain. It's about bringing your body back into balance. It's about waking up with less stiffness, breathing a little easier, moving a little freer, and most of all, feeling a sense of comfort and control again. So if that speaks to you, stay with me. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to use this blend, what it can help with, and why it just might be the best kept secret in natural healing. Let's begin. 1. The power of castor oil. Let's begin with castor oil. If you've never used it before, it might just look like a thick golden liquid in a bottle, but don't let its simple appearance fool you. Castor oil is one of the most powerful natural substances for healing that we've ever known. And what makes it so special is this: it goes deeper than any other oil. When you apply castor oil to the skin, it doesn't just sit there. It soaks in. It moves into the deeper layers of your tissue, right where the pain and inflammation live. And once it's there, it begins to soften, to break things down, and to help your body release what it no longer needs. People have used castor oil for hundreds of years to treat swelling, pain, constipation, skin problems, and even scar tissue. But here's what I want you to know. It's not just what castor oil does. It's how it feels when it starts working. That slow warmth, that gentle loosening. It's almost like your body says, "Thank you, I needed that." I've used it on my wrists, on my knees, on my lower back. And every time, with a little patience and consistency, I felt relief. Not just in the moment, but over time. Less aching, less tension, better sleep. And the best part, it's safe, natural, and easy to use. No side effects, no prescriptions, just something your body recognizes and welcomes. But like I said in the beginning, castor oil becomes even more powerful when you combine it with one very familiar ingredient, garlic. And that's where this story really takes off. 2. Garlic. Nature's antibiotic. Now let's talk about garlic. Most of us know garlic is something we cook with. It adds flavor, it smells wonderful, and for many people it's a kitchen staple. But garlic is so much more than just food. It's one of the most powerful natural antibiotics you'll ever find. Research now shows that garlic can be up to 6 times more effective than some of the most commonly used prescription antibiotics. 6 times. That's not just folklore. That's science catching up to what traditional healers have known for centuries. What makes garlic so special is its ability to fight off bacteria, viruses, and even certain types of inflammation. It helps clean out the body from the inside. It supports your immune system. It reduces swelling, and it gets into the bloodstream quickly when applied to the skin or taken properly with food. But it's not just about science. I've seen the results in real life. I had a friend who suffered from repeated sinus infections year after year. She started using garlic in a simple compress, and within days, her breathing cleared up. Another friend used garlic oil for chest congestion and said it was the first time in months she could sleep without coughing. And maybe you're thinking, "I can't handle garlic, it's too strong." That's okay. You don't have to chew raw cloves. You can gently grate it into warm soup. Mix it with a little olive oil and spread it on toast. Or, as I'll show you shortly, you can use it right on the skin, combined with castor oil for powerful results without the burn. Garlic knows where to go in the body. It seems to find the problem and go to work. And when it's teamed up with castor oil, something amazing happens. 2 simple ingredients, 1 powerful healing tool. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to put the 2 together and how to use them safely and effectively in your daily routine. 3. How to make and apply the blend. Now that you know what castor oil and garlic can each do on their own, let me show you how to bring them together into one simple, powerful healing remedy. You don't need anything fancy. In fact, everything you need is probably already in your home. Here's how to make it. Start with a clean piece of soft cotton cloth. You can use a thin washcloth, an old t-shirt cut into squares, or flannel if you have it. This cloth is going to be your compress. Think of it as the carrier that holds the healing ingredients in place while your body absorbs them. Next, place that cloth on top of a piece of plastic wrap or parchment paper. This helps keep the oil from leaking into your clothes or your sheets. Now take your castor oil. You don't need a lot, just about 1 teaspoon, maybe even a little less. Gently pour it onto the center of the cloth. Castor oil is very thick, so it will sit there like a small bubble at first. That's exactly what you want. Then, take a fresh clove of garlic and finely grate it. You can use a small kitchen grater or a garlic press. You only need a small amount, about half of a clove or whatever you're comfortable with. Mix it gently into the castor oil on the cloth. Let it sit for a moment and begin to absorb. Once your compress is ready, place it directly onto the area you want to treat. That might be a sore knee, a stiff wrist, your lower back, or even your chest if you're dealing with congestion. Make sure the oil side is facing your skin, and then wrap the area gently with a towel, a bandage, or soft fabric to keep everything in place. Leave it on for at least 1 hour. You can also wear it overnight while you sleep, as long as you protect your bedding with a towel or an extra layer of clothing. The longer it stays on, the more deeply it can work. If you'd like to boost the effect, you can place a heating pad or hot water bottle over the compress. The warmth will help the castor oil penetrate even further and activate the healing compounds in the garlic. After you're done, just fold the cloth and store it in a plastic bag. You can reuse the same cloth for several days. Just add a few drops of fresh castor oil and a bit of garlic each time. That's it. No pills, no prescriptions, just a natural blend made with care that can bring real relief. And now, let me tell you what happened when I used this for just 7 days. 4. My story. What happened after 7 days? Let me tell you what happened to me after using the castor oil and garlic blend for just 7 days. I didn't expect a miracle. I wasn't even sure it would work. I've tried so many things over the years, ointments, supplements, stretching routines, even pain relievers that left me feeling groggy. Like many of you, I've learned to live with a certain level of discomfort. I told myself, well, this is just how it is when you get older. But something in me was still hoping for something better, something simple, something that didn't involve another prescription or a waiting room. So I gave this blend a try, just castor oil and garlic. That first night, I applied it to my wrist, an area that had been bothering me for years. It's the kind of pain that wakes you up when you try to roll over. It's subtle at times, but it wears on you. Night after night, you feel it. Day after day, it limits what you can do. Even the small things, like pouring a kettle or buttoning a shirt. I followed the steps I shared with you earlier. I used a soft cloth. I added just a small amount of garlic, grated fresh, and a teaspoon of castor oil. I wrapped it gently and rested. The first night I noticed something small. The pain didn't disappear, but the area felt calmer, warmer, like the tension was slowly easing. I slept a little better, and when I woke up, I didn't feel as stiff. By the third night, I found myself moving my wrist more freely. It felt like the inflammation was slowly melting. I could turn doorknobs without wincing. I didn't need to shake out my hand in the morning just to get it working. Then came the seventh day. I remember waking up and realizing something strange. I had slept through the night. No waking up from pain, no readjusting the compress. I took it off that morning, looked at my wrist, and just smiled. The swelling had gone down. The dull ache was gone. It felt like I had turned back the clock 5 years, not because of some miracle cure, but because something natural, something gentle, had finally reached the root of the problem. I kept going. I used the same compress on my knees, an area that used to throb when the weather changed. Again, after about a week, the difference was noticeable. I was getting up from chairs more easily. I walked farther. I felt more like myself. And the best part, no side effects, no upset stomach, no dizziness, just a clean, comforting routine that I could do in my own home with ingredients I trusted. I started telling friends. One of them, a retired teacher named Louise, began using the blend on her lower back. She'd had 3 decades of on and off pain from her teaching days, standing for hours on hard floors. Within 2 weeks, she called me in tears. She said, "I forgot what it felt like to move without guarding every step." Another friend, a former postal worker in his 70s, used the blend on an old injury in his ankle. He said after 10 days, he started walking farther than he had in years. No brace, no limp, no fear of falling. Now, I'm not here to promise you a cure for everything. That's not what this is. But I am here to tell you that your body still has the ability to heal. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body is still listening. And when you give it something natural, something safe, something nourishing, it responds. This blend is one of those quiet, powerful tools. And all it asks of you is patience, consistency, and care. So if you've been living with discomfort, if you've been feeling like your best days are behind you, please hear me when I say, it is not too late. You are not too old. You have not missed your chance. You have the right to feel well, to feel strong, to feel at home in your own body again. And maybe, just maybe, this simple blend of castor oil and garlic can be the beginning of that journey. 5. Common health issues. This blend helps with. Let's talk about the real-life issues this castor oil and garlic blend can help with. I've spent years researching natural health solutions and speaking to people just like you who are looking for something gentle, something that works, and something they can actually do at home. What I've learned is this. The castor oil and garlic combination is far more versatile than most people realize. Let's begin with one of the most common problems, arthritis. Arthritis is one of those conditions that slowly chips away at your independence. Whether it's in your hands, knees, hips, or shoulders, it can make the simplest things feel impossible. Tying shoelaces, opening jars, even holding a book. The stiffness, the swelling, the dull ache that comes and goes, it wears on you. This blend works beautifully here. Castor oil is anti-inflammatory by nature. It doesn't just sit on top of the skin. It soaks deep into the tissue where that inflammation lives. And garlic, with its strong antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, helps to calm the immune system's overreaction. Together, they soothe the joints, increase blood flow, and reduce stiffness over time. I know someone in her late 70s who was using this remedy on her knuckles. She was convinced she'd have to give up knitting after 60 years. After just 2 weeks of daily application, she called to say, "I'm back to making scarves for the grandkids." Next, let's talk about bone spurs. Bone spurs form when the body tries to protect itself by building extra bone, usually from long-term stress or inflammation. I once had a small spur on my heel that made walking painful.
especially in the mornings. When I began applying the blend regularly, I was amazed at how it softened the tissue around the area. Within weeks, the pain began to fade. A podiatrist even remarked that the inflammation had gone down significantly. Here's something to remember: the longer the bone spur has been there, the longer it takes to break down. But stay consistent. If it's been there for 3 months, it might take 3 weeks. If it's been there for 3 years, give it 3 months. Healing takes time, but it is possible. Now, let's move on to respiratory conditions like bronchitis, asthma, and chest congestion. This is where the blend truly shines. Garlic is known for breaking up mucus and easing tightness in the chest. And when it's combined with castor oil and applied to the chest area, the warmth and deep penetration help loosen that congestion. One woman I spoke with used it on her chest during a bad winter cold. She said within hours she could feel her breathing start to clear. After a few nights of use, her cough was gone. For sinus issues like chronic sinus infections or pressure headaches, you can use a smaller compress right over your sinuses or forehead. Just make sure to avoid getting too close to the eyes or nostrils. The combination of castor oil's deep reach and garlic's infection fighting strength can reduce swelling and clear out nasal blockages gently. Now, let's talk about digestive issues, which are all too common as we age. Things slow down. Bloating, constipation, and general discomfort become more frequent. Castor oil has long been used to support bowel movement, but instead of taking it orally, which can be irritating to some people, you can apply the blend externally to your abdomen. I've heard from people who used it for stubborn constipation, and within days, their digestion was smoother, more regular, and far more comfortable. One retired nurse told me, "I used to dread eating because I knew what was coming after. Now I feel like my body is working again." Another powerful use? Fibroids and cysts, especially in women. There was a young woman I met who had a 3-inch fibroid in her uterus. She applied the compress over her lower abdomen nearly every night for 5 months. Combined with some natural hormone support, her fibroid shrank by more than half. And, just as important, she was no longer in pain. Her cycle normalized. Her energy came back. And she avoided surgery. Let's not forget skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis. Both can cause redness, itching, flaking, and irritation. The castor oil and garlic blend, when applied gently to these areas, can reduce inflammation, soothe itching, and help the skin regenerate. Just be careful with how much garlic you use on sensitive skin. A little goes a long way. And then there are the more delicate issues, like hemorrhoids. Yes, it might sound unusual, but this blend, frozen into a small shape and applied carefully, can bring fast relief. Castor oil reduces swelling and promotes tissue repair. Garlic calms infection and irritation. The cold helps with immediate comfort. Together, they make a powerful team. Some people have also reported relief from gallstones and liver congestion when they apply the compress to the upper right side of their abdomen. That's where the liver and gallbladder sit, just below the rib cage. With regular use, the blend may help break down buildup and support liver function, especially when combined with good hydration and a healthy diet. Even kidney stones and general kidney support can benefit from this method. The key is consistency and placement. Use the compress on the lower back where the kidneys rest and give it time to work. You don't have to suffer silently. You don't have to accept discomfort as your new normal. With just 2 natural ingredients and a little commitment, you can support your body in the most gentle, effective way. You may not feel something overnight, but day by day, night by night, your body begins to respond. The swelling softens, the stiffness loosens, the pain begins to fade. And the best part, you're not covering up symptoms, you're helping your body heal at the root. Up next, I'll share how to use this blend safely and the few important things you need to know before starting. Safety tips and best practices. Before you begin using this blend regularly, let's take a few moments to go over the safety guidelines and best practices. I want you to feel confident, comfortable, and completely prepared when trying this for yourself or for a loved one. First of all, the good news. This remedy is gentle, natural, and very well tolerated by most people. But like anything we apply to the body, there are a few important things to keep in mind. Let's start with the basics. Number 1, never apply raw garlic directly to your skin. Garlic is powerful. When it's raw and undiluted, it can burn the skin, especially in sensitive areas. That's why we always mix it with castor oil, and we always apply it on a cloth, never directly on the skin. When making the compress, use just a small amount of freshly grated garlic. Think of it like seasoning, not too much. A little goes a long way. If your skin is very sensitive, or if you're applying the blend to areas like the chest, neck, or inner thighs, you can even let the grated garlic sit in the castor oil for a few minutes, then strain it out before applying. That way, you get the benefits without the risk of irritation. Number 2, always use a barrier. Whether it's a thin cotton cloth, flannel, or even folded gauze, make sure the blend goes on the fabric first, never directly onto your skin. This is especially important if you plan to leave it on overnight. You want slow, steady absorption, not too much all at once. Number 3, test it first. If this is your first time using castor oil or garlic on your skin, do a small patch test. Apply the prepared compress to the inside of your forearm and leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes. Watch for any redness, itching, or discomfort. If all looks good, you're likely safe to move forward. Number 4, don't ingest castor oil unless directed by a healthcare provider. Castor oil has been used internally for constipation, but it can be harsh on the digestive system and cause cramping or dehydration. For our purposes, we are using it externally, on the skin only. Number 5, protect your clothes and bedding. Castor oil is very thick and sticky. It doesn't wash out easily. So before you lie down with your compress, make sure the area is covered with an old towel or a piece of plastic wrap. Some people wear an old t-shirt or pajamas they reserve just for their compress nights. Number 6, reuse your compress safely. After each use, you can fold the compress cloth and store it in a small zip-top bag in the refrigerator or a cool, dark place. Just add a bit more fresh castor oil before each use. After about a week or so, or when the cloth starts to feel stiff or discolored, go ahead and make a new one. Number 7, listen to your body. If you notice any skin irritation, digestive upset, or discomfort after starting this routine, pause and reassess. Not every body responds the same way, and that's okay. Start slow, take your time, and adjust as needed. And number 8, use heat wisely. Adding a heating pad or hot water bottle over your compress can help the oil penetrate more deeply. But be careful. Make sure the temperature is comfortable, not too hot. You want gentle warmth, not a burn. Now, let's talk about how often to use this remedy. For most people, applying the blend once a day is enough. I usually recommend starting with 5 nights a week, especially if you're targeting joint pain, inflammation, or digestive issues. If you're seeing improvement and want to continue, you can increase to nightly use. You can also wear the compress during the day if you prefer. Just make sure it's secure and won't leak through your clothing. Some people like to wear it for 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon while resting or reading. Others prefer overnight use, especially for deeper joint pain or chronic inflammation. When used consistently, the results build over time. This isn't a quick fix. It's a gentle, steady shift in your body's ability to heal. That's why I encourage people to commit to at least 7 days. Then reassess. If you're noticing improvements, better sleep, easier movement, reduced swelling, keep going. And finally, always consult with your doctor if you're currently under treatment for a medical condition. This blend is meant to support your health, not replace necessary care. But for many people, it becomes a valuable part of their routine, a natural companion to whatever other steps they're already taking. So there you have it. Safe, simple steps to get started with confidence. Up next, we'll talk about something deeper, the emotional side of healing. Because this remedy is not just about physical pain, it's about hope, about reconnecting with your body, and about remembering that healing is always possible at any age. I want to close today with something personal. You see, we often talk about healing like it's only about the body, about pain, symptoms, diagnoses, and medications. But real healing goes deeper than that. It's not just about getting rid of discomfort. It's about getting back something that pain has taken away. Your freedom, your peace, your confidence, your joy. And that's what this little blend, castor oil and garlic, has given back to me and to so many others. It's not magic, it's not overnight, and it's not perfect. But it's a step, a small, gentle step in the direction of feeling good again. And when you take that first step, something shifts inside you. You start to remember what it feels like to feel hopeful again. You start to believe, maybe for the first time in a long time, that your best years are not behind you. You remember that your body is still alive, still wise, and still trying, always trying to heal. Maybe you've lived with pain for years. Maybe it's something new. Maybe you've been told that's just how it is now and you've tried to accept it. But something inside you is still searching. You're not done. And that's a beautiful thing. Let me say this to you clearly. It is not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You have not missed your chance. You deserve comfort. You deserve ease. You deserve to feel at home in your own skin again. I made this video not just to show you how to make a compress. I made it to remind you that healing is still available. That something as simple as a cloth, some castor oil, and a clove of garlic can bring a sense of comfort and calm you thought was long gone. And the most beautiful part? You don't have to go through this alone. If you've made it this far, I want you to do something for yourself and for others who might be feeling the same way. In the comments, type the words, "I'm ready." Just those two simple words. It might feel small, but it's a powerful declaration. You're not giving up. You're still choosing healing. You're still willing to take that first step.